everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Plan with Kristen. And if you can tell by the title of this video, it's called Marriage Relationship Advice. Now, I am not a relationship expert, but I've been married for almost 11 years. I've been with my husband for 16, so I think I know a little bit of something about marriage. So, I didn't even know I was going to do this topic, but when I do my live streams a bit, like sometimes we'll get into family talk and relationship talk, and I think a couple of people had mentioned, you should do a relationship advice video, and I was like, okay, if you want me to, I will do it, and here I am. So anyways, this is just stuff that I've learned over the years of being with my husband and things that have worked. A lot of the stuff is just common sense, but we live in a world where common sense ain't so common, so I thought I would just give you something. And this works whether you're married or not, if you're in a relationship. This also works with friendships too. I tried to think of things that you can apply to any relationship that you have. So let's get started with number 1. Be with, marry, okay, your best friend. Now, okay, I'm not saying this needs to be your one and only best friend that you need to marry. This should be one of your best friends. And because if you're not best friends and you're not friends, then you're wasting your time. And the reason I say that is because your spouse, partner in life needs to be somebody that you can come to and talk to about anything. I don't care if you think it's gonna make them mad, if they done something to upset you, whatever. Good things, bad things, ugly, the great, you should be able to go talk to your partner, your spouse, friend, relative about anything that's bothering you or anything that you want to discuss, and you should have an open ear and they should have an open ear. If you are not being with or marrying your best friend, then I don't know what you're doing. I really don't know what you're doing. You should have that type of relationship, because not only should you be partners, as being a couple, but you should also be friends. You should have a really good friendship, because the foundation to a good relationship is a good friendship. So let's move on to number 2. Communicate. I don't know why I have to say this, but I have to say this. A lot of couples just don't communicate, and sometimes it's not one or the other's fault why you're not communicating. A lot of times we hold stuff in, especially women. I'm one of those where I can hold something in and just kind of blow up, and I'm trying to work on that. But communicate. That goes back to number 1. I don't care what's going on, communicate. If you, for instance, okay, women, if your husband or your partner is doing something that really annoys you, tell them that right when you can. Don't wait 2 weeks from now when you're like, you've been doing this, because your partner or husband's gonna look at you like, why are you bringing this up now? I don't care about it anymore. When something is bothering you, you need to say it right then and there. Don't walk into your partner's job and cause a scene. We don't want the person to get fired. But when something's bothering you, you need to communicate. But you need to communicate about all the good things too. Affirmation is good. Telling your spouse you appreciate them, telling your spouse that you love them, doing small things, communication in all forms, whether it's words, whether it's, I don't want to be this person that tells you need to go buy your spouse gifts or whatever, because you don't have to buy anything to make your spouse happy. You can make things, you can do things around the house. Like, I know me as a wife and a mother, when my husband does the dishes or puts them in the dishwasher, that beats anything that money can buy. So communicate, words of affirmation, doing things. You ain't got to spend a lot of money to make your partner happy. But if you communicate, I can guarantee you that is the one thing that money cannot buy, and it is priceless. Number 3, do not argue just to be right. I am a Virgo. I am stubborn. I don't like being wrong, but it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. It really is, okay? I've been in a relationship for 16 years. I've been wrong a lot of times. I'm admitting that. But don't argue just to be right, because then you're arguing for the wrong reason, okay? Especially if you know you're in the wrong, don't argue just to be right. An argument is not a competition. An argument is basically a debate. You're arguing your point. But when you're arguing, you want to argue your point, but you want to let your partner argue their point also. Because you may think you are right, you may think that, all right, what I'm doing is correct, what I'm doing is the end all to everything. But if you take the time to listen to your partner's argument, you may figure out that, oh, okay, they make sense. And a lot of times if your partner is making sense in an argument, then your argument can come together and you guys can meet in the middle ground. So don't argue just to be right. Make your point, okay? Because if your partner is listening to you make your point, then you owe it to them to listen to them while they make theirs. Now, is it to say their argument is right? Both of you guys can be wrong, or both of you guys can be right. But the most important thing is to come to a middle ground and figure out how to work it out. Because if you can't work it out, then, like I said, what are you doing? Number 4, it's okay to have me time. I see a lot of younger couples that want to spend every single waking moment with their girlfriend, boyfriends, partners, or whoever. And I'm like, what are you doing with your life? It's okay to have me time. My husband has me time every single day, and so do I. You know, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I'm home a lot by myself during the day. Now, am I sitting on the couch just watching TV all day? No, I take care of the house. I run errands and I do all that stuff. But I do make it a point to have me time because self-care is very, very, very important. You got to have self-care because you can't take care of anybody else if you don't take care of yourself. So, on top of that, it's okay for your boyfriend or for your girlfriend to have me time. If she wants to go out with her girlfriends for a night out, dinner, or whatever, that's okay. If you want to go out and have a drink with your boys or poker night or, you know, the typical guy stuff, that's fine, do that. But it's not always about going out. If your wife or girlfriend or partner wants to just have a nice hot bubble bath with a glass of wine for 30 minutes uninterrupted, let her have that. If your husband, boyfriend, partner wants to have an hour or whatever on the PlayStation or the Xbox so he can talk shit to his friends online, let him have that. You don't need to be up under each other 24/7. It's not healthy. What's healthy is having a little bit of time apart. That way you appreciate what you have when you come back together. So it is perfectly okay to have me time. It's not selfish. All right. What's selfish is demanding that your partner spend every single waking moment with you. Have your own hobbies. You guys know I have my own hobby. Planning and making videos is my hobby. It's also my business, but first and foremost, it's my hobby. That's what makes it fun. Have your own hobbies. My husband has his hobbies. My husband works a lot of hours a week. So, I mean, he deserves to have hobbies. He's a gamer. He loves gaming. That's his hobby. That's what he loves to do. And that's okay. You want to have somebody with you that shares your, common interests. I mean, because if you don't have anything in common, then you don't have a relationship. But it's okay to have your own separate hobbies. Like my husband doesn't make videos. He doesn't plan with me or anything. And that's perfectly fine. I'm not a gamer. I don't do what he does. And so it's okay to have your own hobbies. It's okay to take separate interests and stuff as long as you guys are actually spending time together when you need to. That's all that matters. This is a very, very important one. Don't gossip about your partner or spouse to your friends. Just don't do this, okay? I see lots of TV shows and movies where I see a bunch of girls chit-chatting about how the man ain't shit and blah, blah. Don't do this. Don't do this. You're with them, okay? And if you have an issue with your spouse, it should be between you and your spouse. It should not be for your girlfriends to know. Now, am I saying that girls don't gossip? Girls get together and guys get together and they gossip, okay? That's what they do. But you should not be putting your partner down to your friends. It's not right, it's very disrespectful, and it's way out of line. Your issues with your partner and your spouse should be between you two and work them out between yourself, because when you bring other people in, you just create more issues, and then and especially if you're only saying the bad things about your partner to your friends, then they only know this bad version. And so when something good happens, they still can't let that go. So quit gossiping to your friends, be adults, discuss your issues with your partner, and leave the gossip into the petty stuff. Be on the same page about life-changing events, i.e. kids, money, all that stuff. Before you decide to take that giant leap into marriage, and this is if marriage is for you, because marriage is not for everybody, or if you just want to be in a long-term committed relationship, what you need to find out at the beginning of the relationship is if your partner wants kids. If you want kids and your partner doesn't want kids, it's not going to work. Do not get into this frame of mind that, I can change their mind. Because I can guarantee if a person doesn't want to have kids, they're not going to want to have kids. Okay? It is what it is. And especially money. If you're with somebody who is very, very frugal and loves to save money, but you're a person who loves to shop, get separate bank accounts, okay? That's all I can say. But life-changing things you should be on the same page about, you know, as far as, you know, buying a home, buying cars, having kids, starting a family, all that stuff. You guys should be on the same page. If you're not on the same page, it's not going to work. And I'm talking about people who are planning on being in long-term committed relationships, because if you're just dating somebody and it's nothing serious, then, you know, I'm not talking to you. But someone who plans on, you know, being with somebody for years at a time, or plan on getting married, you should be on the same page, especially when it comes to kids and money. Because if you're not on the same page and you end up getting married, then it's going to be a disaster, and you don't want to waste your time with that. You're not always going to agree, and that's fine. That kind of goes back to what I said, don't argue to be right. You're not always going to agree on everything, and that's fine. Me and my husband don't agree on everything. That's fine. You know, we just don't agree. But the things we don't agree on are not things that are like divorce worthy. You know, it's not like I'm agreeing to have another child and he doesn't want one or something like that. We don't agree on like trivial stuff, you know, and that's perfectly fine. It's nothing that I'm going to bed and I'm looking at him like I can't stand him. It's something like that. And that's what I'm talking about. You guys are not going to agree on everything, and that's perfectly fine. Don't let it ruin your relationship, because I used to say this to my friends all the time, I don't like robot marriages, okay? It's okay to disagree with your spouse on certain things. I would respect people more if they actually read, you know, on some things, you know, nothing life-changing, but it's okay to not agree with your spouse or partner on certain things, okay? It's okay. You're not gonna die if you don't agree on everything. Don't be petty. Don't play games. Don't do tit for tat. That's high school stuff. If you're an adult, do not play games. And what I mean by playing games is like, if your spouse or partner makes you upset, don't make them upset because they made you upset. Let them know they made you upset, and let them know how it makes you feel. Because playing games only leads to more games, and it leads to more deceiving, leads to being angry, and then you take things way too far when it could have been solved a long time ago. So don't play games, don't be petty, the whole tit for tat thing. And another thing is, don't make bets in relationships. And what I mean by making bets is like saying, if you do this for me, I'll do this for you. You guys are in a relationship. This isn't a TV movie where you're a bunch of gangsters and you're paying favors for each other. Play fair, okay? If something is bothering you, don't be petty about it. Don't be quiet about it and say, okay, I'll show him or I'll show her. Discuss. Like, this always goes back to communication. Communicate with your partner, your spouse, about why you're upset. Because a lot of times your spouse probably doesn't even know they upset you. You know, I'll be the first to say, men are not as intuitive as women are when it comes to upsetting. Sometimes my husband is like, I didn't even know I pissed you off, you know. Not his fault. But, you know, communicate. Don't play games. Don't do this tit for tat crap, because it gets you nowhere, but just more frustrated and more unhappy. And then you get more pissed off, and then you continue to play games. It's just a never-ending cycle. So there you go. And I think that's all as far as marriage and relationship advice. There's nothing else more that I really want to talk about, I don't think. Just communicate and be an open book. And I mean, don't have any big secrets, you know, nothing that's going to, if your partner discovers, they're going to be like, who is this person? You know, it is what it is. Because I can guarantee you, we don't tell our partners everything, you know. And what I mean by everything is, like, say you have a dream about a guy and you're not going to wake up and tell your boyfriend or your husband, hey, I had a dream about a guy. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, not telling your boyfriend everything stupid, little trivia stuff like that. But be an open book and discuss everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, the great, everything. Don't just discuss everything that's good. Discuss the bad things too, and everything will be okay. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments about anything I've said in this video, leave it down below. If you have a request of a video that you want me to do, leave it down below. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you like this. And I will see you all next time. Bye.